Hello and welcome to Firstpost and our continuing coverage on the escalating tensions between India and Pakistan. Whenever something like this happens, there's a tendency to divide the world into two, countries that support one side and the other. In this case, there's one country that's always stood by India, not just in this century, even in the last, and that's the Russians. The Russians this time too have called for restraint, but the question is what role can they play if these tensions get out of hand? And what role are they playing right now? To try and answer those questions, let me introduce my guest, Mr. Sergey Markov, who is a former advisor to the Russian President, Mr. Vladimir Putin. He's joining us from Moscow. Thank you so much, sir.
Hello, and my congratulations on the victory day of the NS regime. For us, it's a very big day today, and you can see that I am on the colors of the Victorian Red Army. Which crashed Nazi 80 years ago. So my congratulations. Yeah. Okay.
It is indeed a big day in Moscow, and we've been seeing pictures of the parades, and it's quite a celebratory mood in Moscow, we know that. And congratulations to Russia on the 80th anniversary there. Let me ask you about Russia's role here, and because yesterday the Foreign Secretary of India said very clearly that the original escalation, or the first shot in this ongoing exchange between India and Pakistan was fired by Pakistan when their terrorists attacked Indian civilians in Pahalgam. Is there an understanding in Russia, in the Russian capital, that Pakistan is the aggressor here and that India is merely acting in self-defense?
Generally, I would say that Russia tried to keep a neutral position. Also because part of Russian population, something about 15%, is Islamic countries. And also Russia has important relationship with some Islamic countries, like such as Turkey, Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, which injured which is important situation of the sanction of Western countries against Russia. But at the same time, of course, Russia has privilege to have many decades a strategic partnership with India. That's why Russia are more inclined to the India position. And if you look at the Russian media, they will try to covering neutrally, but with more sympathy to the India. Also, Russia has a very long history of the terrorist attack of different radical Islamists, as we understand also not only nationalists but also radical Islamists attacked India, and it's appeared to be the reason of the conflict. Another important that Russia try to keep general official neutrality for the possibility to play some kind of role in moderator. Russia remembers that in the past, during the previous big war between India and Pakistan, Soviet Union, in fact, another name of the Russia, play main role as a moderator for the peace deal. And peace deal had been signed in Tashkent, which is Uzbekistan now, but was part of the Russia, part of the Soviet Union in those days. And Russia ready to support, to give help to the both nation for the finding some kind of peace deal.
Now, you mentioned that Russia is neutral right now, but if you go to the last century and you mentioned the Soviet Union right there, there's always been a sense here among the Indians that the Russians are on our side and they're not going to support the Pakistanis. But are you saying that that's now changed and now Russia sees itself as more of a neutral mediator with equal stakes on both sides?
Russia tried to keep neutrality as most of the countries. But as already mentioned, there are more sympathy in Russia to India in such conflict. It's for sure. But the problem is, which is changing, that you remember that Pakistan, those days in the previous war, was very strong partner of the United States of America. But now Pakistan, the main partner of the China. In the past, United States was main rival enemy of Russia, and by the state to be. But now China, which is the main partner of Pakistan, is one of the best friends of Russia. it's exactly what changed.
So do you feel that, and I was about to ask you that because President Xi is actually in Moscow right now for the Victory Day celebrations, and they have a no limits partnership, as both sides call it. Do you think that China's close ties with Russia and China's iron brotherhood with Pakistan has sort of weakened India's relations with Moscow, or do you think they remain as strong as they've ever been?
Of course, we see also this conflict between India and Pakistan. It's a indirect little bit conflict between India and China as well, because Pakistan is main economic partner of China. And in such a situation, Russia again tried to be between two countries. And we understand very well that India and China, not just countries, these in fact, two civilizations. And in the future world, such a big country civilization as China, India, Russia, America, Europe will play the biggest role. That's why some kind of competition between China and India almost inevitable for the next decade on the south of Asia, I would say. And Russia will try to play the role of moderator between them, some kind of compromising, neutral role.
Now, when you look at Russia's role in the previous conflicts between India and Pakistan, even when they've escalated to full-scale war, when these issues tend to go to the United Nations Security Council, the one country that has always vetoed and shot down those resolutions against India has been Russia. Now, this time, the issue has gone to the UN Security Council, but we haven't seen any voting or resolution yet. Do you think that if this conflict escalates and it goes to the UNSC and there is an attempt to stop India from escalating or responding to Pakistani attacks, do you think Russia would still veto it, or do you think the times have changed?
First of all, most of analysts in Russia, and I see it in other countries, they think that such conflict will preserve some period, but then it will be declining and moving to the peace deal, something about in a week or in 2 weeks. Most of the analysts here believe that Russia is that India interesting very much to show to Pakistan, and first of all Pakistan military intelligence, which is standing behind possibly this attack, that no more, that India cannot allow to have such kind of terrorist attack again and again and again. And India tried to push down such kind of attempt. And this already shown. And as a result, probably India and Pakistan more realistically to come some kind of, not to compromise, because it's no deal for compromising, but to minimizing some kind of such military clashes, and also the possibility of terrorist attack against India from Pakistan territory will be much more less. It's as most of the analysts believe, but the difference is, compared with previous war, it's also nuclear weaponry. As you understand, something both countries have some kind of 170 nuclear bomb, and if theoretically imagine that nuclear war will start between India and Pakistan, it will be not only a catastrophe for the India and Pakistan, but it also will be catastrophe for the whole mankind, because according to the prediction, the climate dramatically changed and it will be so-called nuclear winter. It means the temperature will be less than zero, and snow will be in all the world, including where tropics now, Africa, India, everywhere will be temperature with minus a degree, and it will be absolutely catastrophe, because it will be impossible to plant agricultural foods and to eat, and as a result, possibly all people will die, in the all countries in few years if the nuclear war between India and Pakistan happens. So this is the real threat.
Of course, we are a long way away from the nuclear conversation right now, and let's hope it doesn't get to that. But just a question on the role that Russia could play here. The United States has said that this is a conflict between India and Pakistan, and we are going to let those countries figure it out. Does Russia share that idea that India and Pakistan should figure it out themselves? Because the Russian foreign minister has been on record saying that we want to mediate, but do the Russians have that sort of a trust and depth with the Pakistanis to make them de-escalate from this situation?
I think Russia will be ready to play a role of moderator, and Russia will be happy to play such role. And if India and Pakistan will accept the Russian role, of course, it's some kind of dignity and it's a positive role. But at the same time, most of the countries, including Russian specialists, believe that India and Pakistan probably does not need any moderator. They will come to some kind of negotiation, direct negotiation, and minimizing military clashes themselves.
That's our hope too, that sense prevails on the other side of the border. And though right now it seems like India and Pakistan are handling the situation themselves, if it does escalate even further, we do expect world powers to put more pressure on both capitals to bring the situation back to normal. And then, of course, the focus will also be on Russia as a long-standing ally of India. Thank you so much, Mr. Markov, for speaking to First Post.
My pleasure.